We're going to look at how we can estimate the size of various angles. Before we do that, we're going to have to look at some basic facts about angles. So the first one is the number of degrees in a complete turn, the angle of a complete turn. And that, if we look at that, is 360 degrees, is a full circle. So if we start from a line that is straight up, go all the way around it, and get back to the other side of that line where we started from, that's 360 degrees. The next one, which follows on directly from that, is the angle of a half turn. So how many degrees in a half turn? Well, if there are 360 in a full turn, then in a half turn it's obvious. There's half of 360, which is 180 degrees. So on a straight line, the angle is 180 degrees. And then finally, a quarter turn. Well, a quarter turn is a right angle. So a quarter of 360 degrees is going to be 90 degrees. These three are the very basic angles that you need to remember. They're the starting point of any other that you're going to be learning. And certainly information like 360 degrees in a full turn, the 90 degrees in a right angle and 180 degrees on a straight line are going to be used in other areas of mathematics such as trigonometry and triangles. So you do need to know them. So now let's look at a few angles to see if we can estimate what their actual value is. So here's the first one. Something that's going to help you with this, if you put a straight line up from the angle to show you where 90 degrees is, you can then start to look at, well, how big is that in comparison to 90 degrees? Now remember here, we're only estimating. Now that angle looks like less than half of 90 degrees, but probably a little bit more than a quarter. So I would say probably about a third of 90 degrees, and so that makes it 30 degrees. If we were to put a protractor on that, we'd find it'd be about 30 degrees. We wouldn't be too concerned if it was 28 or 27, but we're looking for an approximate result here. Let's look at the next one. First of all, we're going to put our straight line up so we can do the comparison with 90 degrees. This looks to be about halfway between. So we're going to call this angle 45 degrees. And I think if we get a protractor on that, it would be about right. Here's the third one here. Put our straight line up. This is certainly more than halfway, perhaps 2/3 of the way. So it's about 60 degrees or so. And let's look at a different type of angle now. This one is going to be more than 90 degrees, but we're still going to put that straight line in the way. That means it's got 90 degrees plus, well, it looks like another 45 degrees, half of a right angle. So 90 plus 45 is 135. So we would estimate that angle at 135 degrees. Being able to estimate angles in this way is quite important, because when you're actually going to measure them, you'll want to know if your measurement is about right. So estimation in this way is going to be quite useful for you. Also, these angles of 30 and 45 and 60 and perhaps this 135 as well are fairly standard angles, so being able to recognise them is going to save you a lot of work in the long run.